she is trained in more than 50 different networking marketing companies and is one of the most sought after thought leaders and experts in the field. Are you ready? Please welcome Kristen.
Hi guys, how you doing? Good. Oh, it is so good to be here with you. All right, I hope you all are caffeinated and ready. It's gonna be a really intense 45 minutes with me. Maybe a couple minutes longer. If you know anything about me, if I'm new to you, cool, we're gonna be fast friends. Or you're not gonna like me very much, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna have to give you a content warning for what's ahead. How many of you have friends where you have to like mentally prepare yourself before you get on the phone with them and you're gonna be like, this is the friend that kicks my butt and asks me the questions I don't like answering? Yes. I am that friend. I'm gonna say some hard things. We're gonna have some tough love during this session, and it's gonna hurt a little. It might even feel like I'm calling you out and I've read a page from your diary. I don't know everybody in here, I assure you I'm not. I am in your corner. My friends call me KB. At the end of this, I hope you will too. But when I asked your company, when I was kind of preparing for this, I said, hey, what's your theme? And they're like, all in. I was like, let's go. All right, this is my theme. If they're gonna be like, believe, hope, like that's cool. I'm like, no, give me grit. I wanna have a hard conversation. So if you're ready, you all ready for the hard conversation? Yes? All right, great. I like to work with my crowd a little bit, so if there's something that lands, if it hurts, you could say, ooh, that's fine. If it preaches, you can say, preach. I love hearing it, all right? So stay with me, here we go. Y'all ready? Strap in, we're gonna go fast. All right, while the business model of network marketing is timeless, hear me out. We've seen some things. The model is timeless. You need to know this. Times have changed. I'm gonna bring you back a little bit. And what we noticed in 2020 to 2022 is I noticed that some business owners got a little comfortable and a little lazy. People could post, people would come buying, like it was, I'm just gonna call it like there was the height. There was a lot of fun. But I'm gonna call it, sadly, what I think happened is post-pandemic, we had an epidemic. And it is that of entitled entrepreneurship. It's hard, where's my due? I'm sorry, who told you this was gonna be easy? So I believe we are battling this entitled mindset. And so what's happening is since 2023, I believe we're experiencing the wake-up call. People that came here for fast, quick, easy, fun, they're fleshing out. Because they're realizing, oh, you mean I gotta work? You mean I actually maybe need to treat this like a business if I want to see a comma in my paycheck? You mean I can't just scroll and hope someone's gonna find me? How's that working out for you? I told you, and we just got started. There's two shifts that have been happening. It's the industry shift and an individual shift. I'm gonna walk you through both of them, and we're gonna go on a little journey together. I'm gonna sell you on why you need to be all in on social media. We're gonna call out some of the BS excuses, and then I'm gonna give you a call to action. Sound good? All right, cool. We're gonna talk about the industry shift. You know about network marketing, and it's been shifting to social selling. And network marketing, as we knew it, was mostly relying on your in-person connections, your social circles, your friends and family as your target audience, relying heavily on your in-person networks. Well, let me ask you, how many hands do you shake on a day-to-day basis? Not very many. Especially in today's day and age, what are we all doing? Hi. Oh, hi. Right? We're all looking down. Well, social selling is a little bit different. It's relying mostly on your social media presence. Your friends and family, I'm going to call it, is your starter paycheck pack. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're not climbing to the top of this with mom and dad giving you little pity purchases. Right? There's infinite connection points in the social media space. Growing an audience, building a brand, leveraging the thing you have in your hands. Online events. Here's the thing, what you're capable of in network marketing, when it's just hand to hand and person to person, is actually quite limited. But with social selling, the possibilities are truly limitless. I want you to know where the industry is going, because in order for you to be all in, I want you to see the future of the business model, okay? So that nobody 5 years from now gives me some excuse of like, oh, I didn't know. Oh no, you're gonna know. And your decision is right now, okay? Because when you know better, you do better, right? All right. So we got to watch the next generation of consumers and buyers, which is ta-da, Gen Z. Do we have any Gen Zers in here? Give me a show of hands. Get nice and high. I want to see. Oh, we got some work to do. But hey, you guys, I love that Gen Z's here. Watch them. Watch them. I'm serious. They're going to be your next speakers. All right? Who's Gen Z? They were born between 1997 and 2012. They're entering into the business world. I have a few that work for me, and they're so fun. Like, I don't know what they're saying half the time. No cap, mid, I don't know, but I like them. All right, but here's what you need to know. According to Daily Digital, 32% of Gen Z consumers shop online at least once a day, compared to 25% of millennials, and then down to baby boomers of 7%. The majority of Gen Z consumers, according to Forbes, use social media as their top source for shopping. They actually go on social media to shop, not just scroll. They're going in with a buyer's mindset. And brands, you guys that want to capture an audience's attention today, need to prioritize authentic and organic content rather than the polished output that reads like an advertisement. God help you stop posting graphics on your feed. You look like a magazine ad and people are scrolling right by. There goes Spammy Pammy. Scroll, scroll, stop it. You're gonna hear me saying stop it a lot. Here's the thing. This is the rise of user-generated content. How many of you have heard this term before? Great, I'm gonna educate you. A lot of larger brands that aren't network marketing companies took notice that organic content of content creators just sharing about their skincare, sharing about those things, they were like, well, people aren't relating to traditional advertising anymore, so they pay content creators to do their skincare, and like they pay them like, hey, make 5 posts and do this, and the creator does it, and the company uses that content to promote their brands because it lands better with today's consumer. But here's the thing, oh, you guys, user-generated content creators, UGC creators, they're getting the short end of the stick. They're getting paid on one post instead of the lifetime value of every customer they could be bringing in. And it's your job to educate them on that. They don't know. They're already creating content. But here's the thing. We are in the era of organic and relational selling and marketing instead of sterile marketing and transactional sales. If your content is sterile, so will your paycheck be. Influencer-based marketing is the most effective and powerful way to generate sales online. Before you crap your pants at the word influencer, because some of you have some thoughts about that, thinking like, I'm not that person, I don't want to be that person. Listen, I'm just going to break it down for you. Oxford definition is simply to have an effect on the way that somebody behaves or thinks, especially by giving them an example to follow. If you are a parent, you are an influencer. You are already an influencer, period. That's it. By definition, you're an influencer. And if you're like, but I don't like selling, we're gonna get over that real fast here. Because you all said that you were gonna be all in, so we gotta stop with our silly little stories. But if you're a cozy person where you're like, I don't wanna prioritize my income, I'm about impact. I'm sorry, but you know what? Impact is helping people reach financial security in their lives. Right? An influencer is simply an agent for positive change. And I think we all want to be that. Why? I just believe that's the human condition. That we all desire to be somebody that creates positive change in somebody's life. Is that not true? Then you have a natural desire to be an influencer. It's already in you. Okay, so we've talked about the industry shift, and now I need to talk to you about the individual shift, okay? So moving from network marketer to content creator. We're gonna break that down. So a network marketer, they're posting on their social media about your product, your Lumi Spa, posting about your business, making content that friends and your family appreciate. You can post a picture of your dog, a picture of your morning coffee, asking the same list of people to keep buying from you. Okay? Starter pack. Legacy pack is becoming a content creator. This is when you're taking posting on social media to provide value to a unique audience. Posting educational and helpful content to bring people in who don't know you. You become making content for friends to making content for strangers. It's a different feel. Selling through your stories, your product, and your business is sprinkled in with your unique content. Here's what you need to know. It's not your job to sell a product. It's your job to create content that builds trust with your audience. When you have an audience that trusts you, you can sell anything you want. You can sell trash can liners for a bathroom and people will buy it because they like you. You follow? Let's keep going. You can have the best product, but it won't matter if you got nobody to sell it to. Doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna find you on their own in the vast social media landscape, happen upon you, like you today, and be like, oh, I scrolled 10 of your Canva graphics, and I decided to buy from you. It ain't happening. Okay? I want you to see it as this. Content production is actually customer acquisition. That is how you acquire new customers, by creating content. And what you need to know in today's day and age, this is no longer about who has the better quality product. It's a nice perk. But your audience, it's about who has the better quality content. How do I know that? Because people are selling crappy products. And they're buying, and you guys are sitting on world-class products, and you're a little too quiet about it. Therefore, the product does not sell itself anymore. That used to be like industry jargon. I hate it. Because, sorry, it doesn't work like that. A product sells itself. Just talk about it. No. You got to build trust. You got to build an audience, because people aren't buying a product anymore. In 2024, they're buying from personality brands. They're buying from a person. So in today's economy, personality is the ultimate market differentiator. And some of you are like, I don't have a personality. Well, let me give you an example of that, how many of you have seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? What is the quote that you always remember? Bueller, Bueller. From the character that had zero personality. Was iconic for the film. Your lack of personality is personality. If you really want to hold on to that story about yourself. But I'm going to ask you, how's that serving you? You're no longer, in today's economy, you're no longer competing with other network marketers or social sellers who sell a similar product to you. That's so 2016. Welcome to 2024. You're now competing with influencers, celebrities, and companies using user-generated content. Let me show you your competition. They're doing it. And people are like, I don't want people to sell me something on social media. I'm like, I'm sorry, J.Lo does it every day. She's got a perfume, she's got her makeup, she's not apologizing. Right? Here's good news. Everyone is doing it. I have bad news. Everyone is doing it. So you're like, all right, well, shoot, what's the solution here, Kristen? Here's the thing, if you're not differentiating yourself, you're just like everybody else. You're just like every other network marketer trying to get their piece of the pie on social media. But if you're a content creator, you set yourself apart. The market is saturated with people talking about products just like yours, but we all know yours is superior. But your audience doesn't know that. They're just a consumer. Friend, your personal brand is what sets you apart from Jennifer Lopez and Kate Hudson or any other TikTok people, right? Hear me. Your personality is the brand. It's the brand. If you are like, I have a very dark sense of humor, like my cup of coffee, there is tons of people on the internet that would love your dark sense of humor. And they would tune into it daily. Some of you might be like, I love knitting. There are Facebook groups, like guys, look up the most obscure interests and type into a Facebook search bar and you will be amazed at how many people connect over the most bizarre things. Which means you just gotta let your freak flag fly. There are people that are gonna be like, awesome, I'm like you, I'm a weirdo too. Awesome. Let your weird be your asset, right? The mistake though, that the real pity here is that most people make the mistake in assuming that they need to change who they are in order to have influence with people. That they need to like maybe add self-tanner and dress a certain way. What a pity for you to think you need to change who you are to be seen in the world. Because friends, authenticity is the fastest way to connect to yourself and others because being your true self invites people in. I don't know about you, but when I see somebody and their life looks perfect, I'm like, I can't relate with you. I don't know what that's like. I'd rather follow a hot mess online than somebody who's perfectly curated any day of the week. Because I want to relate to their humanity, not their projected image. Right? Okay, so I've talked about the industry change, the individual change. That puts you at a crossroads of change for the industry as a whole. And what you are observing, I believe, is the shakeout for people deciding if they're willing to go from network marketer to content creator and from network marketing to social selling. You follow? Because the people that aren't transitioning, they're getting left behind. Not because they lack skills or personality, but because they are not adapting. We have to let go of the things that used to work. I'm sorry, what may have built your paycheck in 2020 isn't going to be the thing that puts the next zero or the next comma in your paycheck in 2024. You have to start pursuing the things that are working now. So I'm going to walk you through the stages of change. I'm actually very proud of this chart. I made it. It should probably be in a book. Maybe it will. But I'm going to walk you through how the stages of change work. Because everybody receives change the same way until the crossroads, and then there's the divide, okay? So it usually starts with disruption. There's like a wake-up call, something stops working, there's a shakeup that happens, like, whoa, this is not what we are used to here. How do we know this? We can even talk about this with the pandemic. We all saw a massive disruption to everything, to supply chains, to how people purchase, and all those things. We had disruption. And then with disruption, guys, you can use this for any aspect of your life when you've encountered change, is what follows the disruption is denial. Maybe it's, okay, I just got to get through this. Maybe it's not going to change. Maybe it's not going to be here. Maybe if we could just like get through this, it's fine. Like we start to negotiate with the change we see coming and deny that it's change that's here to stay. And then once you get through your denial, you start getting a little nostalgic. I just wish it was the way it used to be. Remember when we could just post on social media and everyone would buy? Remember when we didn't have to be a content creator? You know why I hate nostalgia? Because you're looking back believing your best days are behind you.
Yes.
In business, nostalgia does not serve because it keeps you locked in the past, wishing for better days instead of saying, damn it, I'm going to make better days. Can I say that from stage? I'm sorry, I swore a little. But you need to hear it, okay? We get nostalgic. Nostalgic is meant for weddings and anniversaries and birthday parties, all right? And then we start to negotiate. Maybe I'll just do a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Maybe like I'll do some of the change, but not all the change. How much can I stay over here without really having to like fully adapt over here? Because you know what? I like that Lizzie said, because here in what used to work, you get to feel like a pro. Over here, you're in the beginner's mindset of like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And you have to eat a big piece of humble pie. Nobody likes being a beginner, especially adults. Because we're too stuck on our pride. Because we don't want to look incompetent or incapable, or like we don't have it all together. I'm sorry, welcome to the human condition. We're all a mess. We're all a mess, okay? It's just I'm willing to be a little louder about my mess. All right? So here's the crossroads. We all feel this. How many of you can relate with this? You're like, oh yeah, all these steps. Yep. I don't care what it is. It can be personal, whatever, but in business. Okay, then we have the crossroads of change. We have the person that decides to disengage and be like, I don't want to, I can't, or they're stuck in the past, they stay there, they're there. And then we have the person that decides to engage and be like, all right, the only way to get to the other side of this is to go through it, so we're going to do it. And they engage in the process. This person that disengages declines. This person that engages starts to grow. And then eventually you keep declining to where you become extinct and irrelevant. And then over here you grow and evolve. I'm a very visual person. I like stories. So I'm going to tell you a story so that this sinks deep into your brain. And it haunts you every night you think about not changing. I want to haunt you for the rest of your entrepreneurial career. Be like, damn it, Kristen Boss said that. That's right. So the only person at the end of the day, because guess what? I'm sorry, you don't get to be a victim and collect a paycheck at the same time. And what that means is you are your problem, you are also your solution. So, friends, you must evolve. Thank you for that preach. I hear you over there. You must evolve if you wish to outlast your competition or even stay in the game. This isn't even about like, some of you think like, maybe I could just stay here. Oh, friends, you can't. I'm going to show you a graph on that too. I told you I'm going to haunt you. This is a writing on the wall moment. What you don't change, you choose. A year from now, you tell me your paycheck's the same, I would say, cool, why did you choose that? To really land this, I'm going to tell you about the $50 million lesson. And I don't know about you, but that's a pretty expensive lesson. Remember this place? Every Friday night, guys, I swear I could smell that photo. I could smell that plastic and the candy section, right? We had consumers going on a Friday night to pick their movie and all those things, but however, consumer behavior was changing. Now, hear this. The desire for the product did not change. It was the consumer behavior for acquiring the product that changed. Okay? And this little small media group decided to adapt. How many of you remember? Guys, I was an OG Netflixer. I remember getting it in the, and people thought it was weird being like, there's gonna be DVDs sent in an envelope. And it was an industry disruptor. Well, in early 2000, Netflix founders offered to sell the company to Blockbuster for $50 million, and Blockbuster turned them down. I don't know how that guy sleeps at night. You want to talk about being haunted for the rest of your business career? Yikes, hate to be that guy. And eventually Netflix triumphed over Blockbuster, popularized streaming, and forced the entire entertainment industry to adapt. How we watch TV is because this little company decided to do something a little different. And we all know what happened to Blockbuster. The decline became irrelevance, and irrelevance led to their extinction. This is you if you do not change. Ingrain this in your mind. Because, yes, because do you know what? I'm sure you've heard this because you're a room of people who love personal development, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again while expecting to produce a different result. Friends, if you walk out those doors and do nothing different, your little paycheck fairy's not going to show up and give you a pay raise just because you want it. I'm sorry, want's not going to get you very far. You got to work. It's going to take grit, determination. Friends, change is your personal invitation to growth. Change is hard because it does require us to step into something and feel like a beginner, feel inadequate, look like we don't know what we're doing. We've all been there, right? But friends, if you resist change, you also resist growth. Growth in here, growth in here, growth here. All growth. You know, every profound moment in my life was because I was forced to make change. And that's your moment right now. And here's the truth of it, guys. This is far more of a mental game. Because we tell ourselves a lot of stories of why we're not worthy or why we can't or why we don't know what we're doing. I don't know what it is that stops you from taking action each day, but it's usually, it boils down to deservedness at some point, like what you believe you can do or deserve in the world, right? And so you might be here and you'd be like, all right, remember when I told you that you said, maybe I can just chill here. My paycheck's pretty good. Do you want to know how so many dreams die? Is 2 words I hear from business owners that I know that their dreams are starting to die. 2 words. It's fine. My current paycheck, it's fine. My current business, it's fine. How we're currently living, it's fine. Because I notice, here's the thing, sometimes we usually, psychologically, you're wired to run from pain, like you're more wired to want to run away from pain than you are towards desire, psychologically. And so what I find is a lot of people will start this business from a place of pain and suffering, like they need to solve a problem of like, all right, I need to close this income gap of $200. And then as soon as the pain lessens, so does their desire to work. Because now it's fine. Because I know that some people don't know how to work unless it's an emergency. Ooh, that'll land. You don't know how to work on days just to sustain and focus and working from a desire, because a desire is something you have to create within yourself. Whereas pain, it's on your heels. It's like you feel the flame, your butt's on fire, you're like, I have to move. I don't know what you gotta do, but you need to find some pain. And some of you have been negotiating with your pain, telling yourself it's fine for far too long. Stop. There's more for you. So I want to show you what happens if you're telling yourself, maybe it's not so bad staying here. I get that. I've been there myself sometimes. But this tells me you do not have a true understanding of how plateaus in business work. And this is when I'm going to haunt you. All right, this is what you think a plateau looks like in this industry. You have your number of sales and you hit your peak over time. Now, if you're not a seasoned business owner, and usually it's corporate that understands this, and it's not, if you haven't been taught this, you just don't know. So this is what I see a lot of people do. They just think, I'll cruise, I'll maintain. But what this actually looks like is this is known as the market life cycle. And each of you have your own market. You have a market, you have a market, you have a market. Each one of you, New Skin has a global market, but every individual, you have your unique market around you. You follow? And your unique market has a life cycle. So market maturity is when you actually hit the saturation of your own market. And then from there, you actually hit decline. Why? Because there's natural attrition in every business. I wish it wasn't the case, but as you guys know, there's no such thing as a perfect customer. And if there is, you better kiss them on the mouth and tell them how much you love them, because they're going to be like, oh, you know what? I double ordered this month. I'm good for this month. You know, I have an extra thing here. Or they're like, you know what? I got to maybe adjust these things. Natural attrition happens. Like it happens in Hulu and Disney and Netflix. And this is just normal business, right? So this is where your paycheck will stall and start to decline. So if you're like, oh crap, how many of you, show of hands, are at the maturity of your market life cycle? Show of hands. There's a lot more. If your paycheck's not growing, I would say it is. Or you're just not showing up in your current market. It might be one of those two things, okay? I'm gonna show you the two ways to actually increase sales. One is you have to expand the market. And then number two is introduce new products. Well, your company's doing that. They're always innovating. They're always creating to find ways to better serve your customer and bring in new customers. You follow? All right, so how do we do this then? If the answer is market expansion, your market expansion, it's social media. There is 5.6 billion users, which creates endless market potential. 259 million new users alone have come online in the last year, and the average time spent on social media is 2.5 hours. What? They want to buy, friends, but listen, we talked about this. Your friends and family is a great getting started market, but it ain't gonna sustain you long term. I'm glad that your mom's buying from you. I'm glad your bestie's buying from you, but it's not their job to put you in Dubai. That's your job. Stop. Stop whining that your friends and family aren't supporting you. Go find people who will. Man, I got worked up over that one. I'm not taking it. I hope you like me at the end of this. All right, long-term and sustainability, the long-term and sustainable play is leveraging your social media, okay? So what's the solution? I'm gonna show you with this graph, because I'm a visual person. Look at what happens when you expand the market. You get yourself out of the decline and you start to extend your market life cycle. Are you all following me? Yes? Sorry, I just knocked my mic. Sorry, sound guys. All right. A change in the market, though, what you don't know, requires a change in strategy. Because expanding your market is an all-in decision, because you gotta up-level your strategies. You can't talk to your cold market the same way you talk to your warm market. Why? Because your mom and bestie will engage on your thrown together posts. They'll give you pity engagement. Your cold market scrolls right by. don't care. This is why when people are like, I'm just not seeing sales like I used to, I'd be like, yeah, because you're in a new market talking to a different person. The conversation has to look different. You have to become a person of value or influence. We've talked about that. You already are a person of influence. It's just time to get in front of more people. I'm going to actually show you the equation of a consistent paycheck. This is it, friends. Visibility, getting in front of more eyeballs, giving value to those people, having conversations with those people, doing it consistently over time is a consistent paycheck. We're just going to break it down a little bit. So visibility is the number of eyeballs on your content. Value is the people who find your content helpful, entertaining, educational. Conversations, the number of people you go out of your way to talk and be social with. And of course, consistency. Activities done over a prolonged period of time so the efforts can compound. Compounded efforts is the secret sauce in this industry, friends. It's what separates the 1% from the 99%. People will do the work. They just don't do it long enough to let it compound. Because when it's not happening fast enough, they say, it's not working. I don't know if this is worth it. This is hard. That's 99% thinking. 1% thinking says, it's hard. I signed up for hard. Let's go. When you are not consistent, though, the first thing that suffers is your visibility because the algorithm is like, cool, you're not here, I'm not going to show. So then we're left with value and conversation, and I'm going to call this the fab business owner. If you want to know what's fab, frustrated and broke. And I'm actually going to be even more honest. I think consistency, then the very next thing that tanks is conversations, because when I ask people when they're complaining about their paycheck, I'm like, cool, tell me how many people you're talking to, and there's this really awkward silence. I'm like, that's why. This is the person that if they stop having conversations, or they're not visible, or they're inconsistent, and they might occasionally put the time to create a really nice post together, this is the person that's like, I'm doing all the things. I'm like, no, you're doing all the things you feel comfortable doing. Yeah. I'm out of people to talk to. No, you're out of people you feel comfortable talking to. Right? Going to the gym isn't gonna make you fit. Just like a couple of posts here and there isn't gonna put a comma on your paycheck either. I'm a part of a gym, and there's these ladies that go to the gym, and I go to work. They go to drink coffee. They hang out in the lobby and they drink their coffee. Now, granted, they're in their 60s, so live your life. But they're going to the gym every day. Their membership would say they're clocking in, but they're going and sipping coffee. Some of you are sipping coffee at the job, telling yourself you're showing up. No, you're not. No, you're not. So you might be asking me, oh, with all this change, what's the same? Well, we're going to go fast here, friends. Buckle up. Woo! All right. Remember how I said human psychology behind purchasing decisions? That hasn't changed. Just like with Blockbuster, the desire for the product doesn't change. It's how they engaged with the purchase of the product that changed. You follow? Okay. So there's the 4 C's that happens with this, okay? Connect, which means just engaging with people, talking to people, offering a smile, a like, a comment. Create content to attract the right people. Again, we're in our cold market, so you gotta, guys, your freak flag has gotta be loud so other freaks can find you. Be like, hey, I like this and like this. Who else likes this? And your people are gonna be like, me, I like this. And isn't it amazing how organic and natural and authentic it feels to connect with people when you start being a human first? If someone's like, I feel spammy, I'd be like, cool, probably because you're not being a real human and you're just going in with your pitchy commission breath, forgetting that they are a person before they are ever your customer. right? Inviting people into conversations and then converting them to customers. Friends, I can't tell you how important it is to create content that attracts the right people. I'm going to give you another visual. Back in November, I'm going to tell you the story about Louie. And I was on my walk, and this stray, sweet, he's so cute. This stray is running around, and guys, I'm a dog person. Any dog I see running, I'm going to take care of it, take it to the shelter. It's just like, it's who I am. And so I take care of Louie, and I document this story to like this really heartfelt music, and boom, goes viral. 500,000 views, 10,000 new followers, visibility galore. Guys, that's 10,000 completely useless followers and my engagement tanked. Why? Because I don't create dog content. Imagine their disappointment when they scroll my feed and it's all business talk. They're like, there is a vast disconnect here. And what happened was the visibility and connection was so high with the dog. Everyone was like, I'm connecting with you. I love it. I love Louie. Tell us his story. But once they scrolled my feed, the perception of value to the audience was low. Right. Friends, you got to do these 4 C's and you got to do them consistently. Guys, the possibilities to grow with social media are truly limitless. I'm going to nerd out for a second. I love the movie Mean Girls. The limit does not exist. Your income earning potential in the online space has no limit. Yes? That was really weak sauce. That should have excited the hell out of you. Hello? All right. No limit. But guess what? You have to be an active participant in the growth. This is not a passive game, friends. You don't get to sit back and watch your dreams happen. You have to sit back and make them happen. Well, no, get up and make them happen. You don't sit back. You get up and make them happen, right? Dreams don't just fall out of the sky. I'm going to tell you something. This is an invitation for hard work. And we are not designed for hard work. Why? Because we all look for the closest parking spot at the gym and the grocery store. We're always looking for shortcuts. You know, we're a society where I believe instant gratification has ruined our work ethic. It has ruined it. We're used to, hey Siri, what is this? Blah, 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 blah. And Siri's like, let me just find that for you. We don't have to go to a library. We don't have to research. We don't have to struggle with the unknown. I want something, I can Amazon Prime it. You can't Amazon Prime your dreams. You gotta work for it. And you gotta go all in. But friends, when you opt out of the work, guess what? You're opting out of the results. And not only are you opting out of the results, I think the worst part is you're opting out of the catalyst of your growth as a person. I tell people, I'm like, you want to learn about yourself, start a business. You want to face your crap, start a business. You want to find out the things that scare you, be in business. People ask me, they're like, I always tell them, I'm like, if you want to ask me how I'm doing, ask me what's happening in my business, because that's where all my crap comes up that I have to work on. Yeah, it's hard. I'm not going to pull any punches with you because I want you all to be like, you know what? Kristen said it was going to be hard. She said it was going to be gritty, but I decided to opt into hard. Friends, struggle is a necessary, expected part of the growth process. It's not a sign that you aren't cut out for this. I see that so often. People struggle and they're like, it must not be meant for me. BS, I say. Right? Your struggle is an invitation to your greatness. All of your greatness is lying in your struggle. And with struggle, you learn something called perseverance. And by definition, that is, no one likes this part, doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Some of you will do difficult, but so long as they're not delay. I'm sorry, but who are you being in the delay of your success? Are you being a victim or a victor? But let me tell you something. Please screenshot this next one. Do not mistake delay for denial. Just because your dreams are a little slow happening doesn't mean they've been denied. But you want to know a way to accelerate them? Make an all-in decision. Draw a line in the sand and be like, we're going. But most people won't, because they'll turn down the invitation for greatness because it's a crying shame that we're more comfortable with mediocrity because it requires so little of us. We get to be comfortable. What? Comfortable and broke? Comfortable and fine? I don't want fine. I want great. I don't want okay. I want extraordinary. But greatness requires everything. But it does just start with one small step. So let me ask you, are you going to resist this process? How long are you going to sit and research when you get home before you actually do some work? Because last I checked, research, you're not in the research and development department with New Skin. You're in the field. Get to work for you. Get to work for you. Are you going to adapt? Are you going to go all in? I'm going to ask you a really hard question. What will it cost your future if you don't? Because did you really come all this way for your life to look exactly the way it does 1 year from now? What a crying shame that would be. To come here and have your ears tickled, little pep talks, feel good, and then do nothing. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not a motivational speaker, if you've noticed. I'm an activating speaker. Because I don't think motivation serves you at all. It's gonna last you until you get out those doors, until you get a phone call from home that crap went down. Or you're going to go home and something went wrong. Motivation, guys, I work with hundreds of thousands of social sellers. You want to know how long it lasts? I've had my team research this. 12 days. 12 days on average. That means for some people it's 4, for some people it's 20. I find that an all-in decision is usually on the heels of realizing it's too painful to stay where you are. Find your pain and use it to fuel your greatness. Friends, change of any kind requires a whole lot of courage. Courage to face ourselves, courage to face the unknown, courage to be uncomfortable. I asked you, I said, hey, I'm going to be giving you a call to action at the end. So if you're ready for change, I have a call to action. I was so delighted that your company would let me do this, but I have an opportunity to help you. And I realize all of you are in very different phases of your business. You might be in like, you know what, Kristen, I've got my warm market, but I haven't really leveraged it well enough. Kristen, I actually need to go on my cold market. I don't even know how to do this. I have this free quiz that assesses exactly where you are in your business, and I send you tools based on your exact season of business to serve you. Because it's not a one-size-fits-all. You need a unique thing. And we're gifting you with an Instagram audit while you wait so that we can set you up well in your cold market. That's for you. Okay? So make sure you have that, screenshot that. All right, now's the big question. Friends, I hope I'm KB now. I hope you remember everything that was said. But I want to know who's in for an all-in decision. Yes? Louder. I don't believe you.